Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Happy Mind, Happy Life podcast, where we take a few minutes each week to pause, breathe, reflect, and connect about how we can create more peace, more joy, and more calm in our everyday life. I'm your host, Michelle Werdeman, and I am so grateful you decided to hit play today. What is happening, my friends? Welcome back to the Happy Mind, Happy Life podcast. I am super pumped that you're here today. Did I just say pumped? What am I, back in the 80s? Yeah, today's episode is pretty personal for me, and I just think it's something that most of us can relate to in one aspect or another. And that is, have you ever wanted something really badly? You worked maybe months, years to get there. You dreamt of it. You had this idea of what it was going to be like. And then when you actually got there, you realized you didn't want it anymore. And you probably didn't realize it right away, or maybe you did. Maybe it took some time. But that's where I am finding myself right now. I'm actually recording this during a full circle moment. I am at my Tranquility Center that I opened up 3 years ago, and I just hosted my last event in this beautiful, beautiful space. And what made it more meaningful is that the gathering that I held was centered around helping people close one chapter in their life and gently making space for what's ready to unfold next. And as I'm sitting here and I'm looking around, I can feel that I'm not just guiding others to do that, because I'm living it too. Like, as we speak, there's a whole host of emotions that I'm feeling right now. Gratitude is the biggest. I think pride, nostalgia, and really just a deep sense of clarity. Because this space, this dream, is something I once wanted so deeply. And what I've come to realize is that it was exactly what I needed, just for a different season of my life. So when I was 37, I remember so clearly what I needed in that season of my life. I was super busy, working long hours. I had a really long, tough commute. I was just juggling a lot. My kids were really little. And what I craved at that time was a place to go to just unwind and relax and really just take a break from it all. And I remember it was December of 2016, and I was at a local restaurant. I had my laptop, I had my journal, and I just started envisioning creating a space that felt calm and peaceful, where people could come and honestly just exhale. It was almost like a spa environment, but you didn't have to book a lengthy massage or treatment or spend a fortune. I just wanted a place where people could come and unplug. And honestly, if you took a nap, cool. If you read a book, whatever it was. And that's what I needed at the time. So that's where this vision of this Tranquility Center came from. And years later, I created it. I created this space 3 years ago. So that would have been 7 years after I dreamt it, if I'm doing my math correctly. Yes. And I opened the center. I hosted mini retreats, sound baths, meditations, all sorts of events. There were yoga classes at one point. People could book a massage. And it was all very beautiful. But somewhere along the way, I started to feel something shift. Not in a dramatic way. It wasn't, this isn't working kind of way, but in a very quiet and honest way. Slowly, I found myself not even wanting to go down to the center. And at first, I honestly would beat myself up about it. I'm like, you're paying all this money. Why don't you want to go down there? There was just a lot of judgment around it, which then created a little bit of shame and guilt. And those feelings just kind of had me staying away from the Tranquility Center, even though the center itself was so beautiful, so relaxing, and so peaceful. But there was just something about it that I knew behind the scenes that this just didn't feel like me anymore, kind of way. And this is where I think we do get hard on ourselves, like I just shared. Like we start questioning everything, wondering why something that once felt so aligned feels differently now. But I started thinking, like, what if that's not it at all? Like, what if the dream was exactly what I needed then? Do you have a dream, or have you experienced something that at the time felt really aligned for what you needed in the moment, but then when it came to fruition, it just didn't feel right? And it's because you're probably just in a different season of your life. So when I look back, I can see that this space was something my 37-year-old truly needed. And instead of questioning it, I honored her. Like, I can say that it mattered, that the space served a purpose. That vision of me needed this, and I gave it to her. And when I think about it that way, it almost makes me tear up, because I can think back to my 37-year-old self. I know how stressed out I was. Even if I didn't know it at the time, I don't think I did. I knew that something had to change or shift in my life. But here I am, years later, honoring that version of myself, but now honoring where I'm at today. Because at the same time, I can give her all the grace in the world. I created this for her. I can give myself, my current 47-year-old self, the same thing. I realized I don't want to be tied down to running a physical space 6 days a week or 5 days a week, managing schedules, coordinating events, dealing when the technology wasn't working. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've just evolved in a way where that's not where I want to put my energy. And here's what's really incredible about that. If I hadn't followed that dream and opened that center, if I hadn't hosted those retreats or sound baths, meditations, and worked with, in my mind, difficult people, I wouldn't be here. Like, I wouldn't have just created my Happy Mind, Happy Life app. I wouldn't have expanded into larger retreats. We have one coming up in the Outer Banks in the end of September. I wouldn't have discovered this way of being able to support people in a way that feels even more aligned with who I am today. Because now I look, and what truly lights me up is creating these tools, creating the meditations, the moments of calm, like just daily tools that people can use and have access to whenever they need them. And it's on their schedule, their own timeline. And now I'm not tied to a place. And neither are they, even though having a place, which I will continue to do one-offs here and there. But I love creating the same type of result, just in a different way. And it allows me to honor what season I'm in right now. More time with my kids. They're growing up super fast. My daughter, God bless her, just got her permit. And that's a whole other level of stress. In a good way. But yeah, just more time with my family and my friends, and also like spending a lot of time on myself. Like, that's where I am at right now. So I would love to invite you to gently reflect on this. Is there something in your life that once felt super aligned that maybe doesn't feel that way anymore? Maybe it's a relationship, a friendship, a career, or a role that you've been playing for a long time. Could be a routine that you're living, just a way of your day-to-day life, or the expectations you've been holding yourself to. Or you know what? Maybe it's not even a thing, but the vision that you've been holding on to of what it used to look like. And sometimes it shows up in the way we're just living our day-to-day lives, our habits, our routines, the way we do things that once really supported us, that once felt good, that once fit into our life just super naturally. But now, maybe does anything feel a little forced or heavy or just not quite as aligned anymore? And instead of questioning whether they still fit, we hold on to them because they used to work, because they were part of a version of our life that made sense at the time. And it's worth asking, am I holding on to this because it truly supports who I am today? Or because it's familiar, because it's comfortable, or because it's connected to who I used to be? I've experienced this in a friendship where I found myself holding on to how it used to feel, like how easy it was, how connected we were. And I realized I wasn't holding on to what it is now. I was holding on to what it used to be. And maybe you've had a moment like that too. And this might sound simple, but I've actually been going through this in a really tangible way with my clothes and my closet. I have been letting go of so many clothes that I have held on to for years. Clothes that don't fit me anymore, that I kept saying, oh, I'll fit into these again someday. I can't even tell you how many times I have said that. And year after year, it's the same pair of clothes. And I just held on to them. And not because they fit my life now, but because they were tied to a version of me that I used to be. Suits that I used to wear for work, that some part of me, I don't even know if a lot of women still wear suits or people are much more casual these days. But regardless, it's just, I would keep a lot of stuff that really just didn't align with who I am today and where I'm at. And then what I realized, it's not just about clothes. It's about honoring where I am now and honoring where you are now, letting go of what no longer fits physically, emotionally, energetically. And while it's not always easy to let go of people, relationships, careers, expectations, identities, there's something really powerful that makes when you do create so much more room. You're creating space for new experiences, new energy, new opportunities, even new connections that align with who you are becoming, that align with the season that you're in. So gently ask yourself, what am I holding on to that feels more connected to who I used to be than who I am today? And what might open up for you if you give yourself permission to let it go and step into this next version of you? You are allowed to change. You're allowed to outgrow things. You are allowed to want something different than you once did. And that doesn't take away from what it once meant. It just means you're evolving. Maybe nothing needs to be questioned. Maybe you're just growing into a new season of you. And if this resonated with you and you're in a season of letting go or creating space for something new, this is exactly the kind of work I love to support people in. And inside my Happy Mind, Happy Life app, which is right now available on Apple, Android is coming soon. There's just a little bit of technical difficulties behind the scenes. But inside my app, you'll get a 7-day free trial, but you'll find guided meditations, tapping, coaching tools, just simple things that you can incorporate into your daily life. Whether you have 2 minutes, 20 minutes, you're brand new to meditation, it doesn't matter. These tools will help you navigate these moments and reconnect with yourself along the way. And again, you can explore it with a free 7-day trial. I'll leave the link in the show notes. And just know, I am here. I am rooting for you. You are a rock star, my friend. And it can be scary to think about letting go of habits or people or just identities. And I promise you, though, once you start to let these things go, you are creating so much space for so much more goodness that, yeah, the sky is the limit. Have a fabulous day. And if you like these conversations and you want to be part of my Happy Mind, Happy Life moments, I send those out weekly. It's just daily tools. There's no spam, no nothing. You can unsubscribe at any time. Just simple tools that you can use to make your life a little bit more happier. Cheers, friends. Thank you so much for listening to the Happy Mind, Happy Life podcast. If today's episode inspired you, please share it with a friend or someone who you think could use a little extra calm and joy today. And to stay connected, follow me on Instagram at mbwliving or visit mbwliving.com. And remember, a happy mind truly creates a happy life. Cheers.